doing their thing. The Angels and Texas Rangers doing their thing. But other than that, all the other divisional races are pretty much over. Cleveland and St. Louis apparently have either hit the wall or have tuned out their managers, and they've done it at the worst times, or in Cleveland's case, they just are one of the most snake-bitten teams in recent memory. I mean, Grady Sizemore, as I keep telling you guys, is one of the most exciting players in baseball, but he's always hurt. Travis Hafner can hit the ball from here to Hawaii. He's always hurt. He's hurt now. Both of them both on the DL. Now the Indians did just sign Jim Thome, but how much more in the tank does Jim Thome have? Can he still hit a home run? Absolutely, as he did earlier this month, getting his 600th home run. But unfortunately, the Indians just can't find the right ingredients to keep going what they got going. Because they have a good young team. They have some really good players. I mean, Asdrubal Cabrera is a freak. And this guy Martinez as well is a freak. And I just think that if they could ever stay healthy for a whole season. I mean, Justin Masterson is the pitcher. He is a guy that they can, going to count on for 15 to 20 wins next season. Maybe this year he may get his 15, but next season he'll even be better. And how about the Cardinals? I've been saying all season long, if the Cardinals ever got a leadoff hitter, they would be tough to beat. Well, they got Rafael Furcal from the Dodgers, and they haven't really taken off. I mean, Chris Carpenter's not having the season like he used to have. We know Wainwright's been gone all season long with his injury. Kyle Loesch is not having the season that he had last year, and neither is Sanchez. But this team should be scoring more runs than they do. I mean, with the middle of the lineup of Matt Holliday, Lance Berkman, and Albert Pujols, I mean, that's a pretty good murderer's row. And yes, when they've been healthy and they've been consistently together for more than 2 or 3 weeks, which has not been a lot this season, the Cardinals have won. But, unfortunately, if it's not Pujols breaking a thumb, or Holliday tweaking his back, or hamstring, or Berkman the same thing, this team has just been very inconsistent. But I will say this, though, folks. Y'all better not, I know there's 30-something games left, maybe 33, 34 games left. Magic can happen. We've seen it happen before, and this team has that type of ability because it has the best player in the game on its team. I mean, he can put them on their back for 2 or 3 weeks and get fat off other teams, and maybe the Brewers start losing some games. But the bottom line is, this has been an extremely disappointing a season for the Cardinals because they had really high hopes for this year. And, of course, people are going to blame Albert Pujols. They're going to say, it's the contract. He's not focused. Well, he leads the league in home runs, so he's doing something right. It's just that fact his batting average is not what it used to be. But they've been disappointing this year. And I'm sure they will all look themselves in the mirror at the end of this season and say, it's on them. Another bad. Earlier I was talking about the Oakland Raiders. Well, I don't know what it is with San Francisco teams this year in sports, but it seems like people are angry with anyone who wears a Giants jersey or anyone who wears a 49ers jersey. We all know about the tragedy that happened earlier this season at Dodger Stadium where the gentleman Brian Stowe was attacked by 2 Dodger fans. So the Niners and the Raiders play their annual preseason football game. And all of a sudden you start seeing videos of women fighting in the parking lot. You see videos of other men fighting. People getting shot. Who brings a gun to a football game? Seriously. Who brings a gun to a football game? I mean, are things up in Oakland, up in San Francisco that tough that you got to bring a gun to a football game? I mean, the Jets and the Giants play on Saturday, weather permitting. I don't hear no one talk about no stories about the Jets and Giants shooting each other or fans shooting each other. But why in the world are you bringing a gun to a football game? And whatever happened to just going to a football game, going to tailgate, and just eating and drinking and going to the stadium and watching the game? Whatever happened to just simply being a fan and just going to a sporting event and saying, hey, that's my team. And I'm going home saying, okay, my team won or lost, I'm happy or I'm sad. And saying I'm going next week because I had so much fun. Now people are bringing guns to games. And then, did you see the brawl the women were having? That was out of control. That was like 5-on-5. It was just insanity. And I'm not saying that women can't brawl. I'm not being sexist, but I'm just saying that I just find it very, very odd that you can't even go tailgating and you got to bring a gun. And thank God the person who was shot is still alive. But now they're talking about canceling the game because they've had enough. It's only sports, folks. Yes, it's my passion. I love sports. I talk it all the time. If you don't want to talk to me about sports, I kind of walk away from you. But I ain't fighting you over no sports. I'm not fighting you over my Giants, Knicks, my Mets, Rangers. I'm not going to shoot you if you're wearing a Cowboys jersey. Some more bad. And it's not really a bad, but it's bad. Novak Djokovic finally lost a tennis match. And he lost it because he's fatigued, I think. I think his shoulder and his body's starting to break down. And, you know, when you've won 57 out of 58 matches, you're going to get tired. But the U.S. Open starts Monday. Hopefully he will be 100% or at least 90% and able to compete and try to equal, if not better, John McEnroe's season of 1984. I'm glad he at least made the effort in the match, but it's sad that he's lost. We'll see what happens in New York. A couple more bads real quick. The Tulsa Shock is still losing. They had a chance to beat the Sparks last week. They were up by 15. And the place is going crazy. And by the way, Teresa Edwards is the coach, the new Hall of Famer, and not Nolan Richardson, so I apologize to Mr. Richardson. But, unfortunately, Candace Parker got hot in the second half, and the Sparks won. The losing streak is now up to, I believe, 19 games. I admire them for still showing up and playing hard. And one of these days soon, in a city near you, they're going to get that win. I just got to find me a Tulsa Shock jersey. I will go online this week, money permitting, and I will get one. And they also had Minnesota on the ropes this week. Minnesota's the top team in the league. They were up in the fourth quarter. But Ivory Latta went to the basket with 23 seconds left and got her shot swatted. And that was all she wrote. And the last bad of this week, Indianapolis coach, I'll talk about more of this in my ugly segment. Peyton Manning may not be ready for the regular season, folks. It's historic because this guy started 208 consecutive regular season games, 222 games overall, including the playoffs. And it's a big deal because the Colts don't draft quarterbacks. The Colts don't pick up quarterbacks because Peyton Manning is always there. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment because of statements made this week that I hope were said in jest. But this team, on its last legs, I hope Peyton gets healthy soon. And we'll be back to talk about the UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, the ugly in sports on 89.7 KLAS FM after this.